Great. And this is Ken Kraetzer for Talking Business, our series of interviews with leaders in the field of digital marketing, banking, insurance, customer service, and business education. And all to highlight our team at CBSI, we provide insurance-based benefits to many companies in the credit card field. And also recognize the Marketing Club of New York, which we'll share this with. But we're really glad to talk to someone who I've heard of for a long, long time, has done a lot of work in the to support the trade of direct marketing, digital marketing, and that is Mary Teahan, who is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Mary is the president of Qendar, and Mary, good to see you today.
Well, it's very nice to be with you today, Ken. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, I know our friend Chet Dalzell, president of the Marketing Club of New York, sends his regrets. He would love to be in on this and chat as well, but we'll do that, bring Chet in on another occasion. But Mary, originally from Michigan and went to the University of Michigan and then the University of Chicago. Maybe you could take us through a little bit of your career.
Sure. Well, I got my degree in Michigan and then went to get an MBA in Chicago. And in Chicago, I met my husband, who is an Argentinian, who had gone to Harvey Mudd College, one of the Claremont colleges in California, to study applied mathematics, for heaven's sake. And then he went to get an MBA in operations management at the University of Chicago, and that's where we met. And when we got our degrees, we came down here in Buenos Aires, and that's where we've been ever since. I started out working in banking, and just general sort of stuff, first in economic research, and then later working in the international department, export, import, and so forth. And then finally, I was in charge of planning. And this was way back in the day. And they called me in one day and they said, there's this new thing called bank marketing. Do you know anything about it, Mary? I said, well, yes, I think I'm fascinated because I fell in love with marketing in Chicago, and I've been doing banking with you all, which I like fine enough, but I would love to do marketing as well. Why don't you set up the bank marketing department? This was back in the day, the First National Bank of Boston, or Bank of Boston. They had a huge operation in Argentina. And so that's where I got my opportunity to start out in marketing. I was delighted with that. And I did that for many years. I was in charge of the first shared ATM network. I was a director of Visa Argentina, representing my bank, and did several other things, starting up new ventures that belonged to the bank and so forth, until after a while I said, well, the circles come around. I think I could go do something else. And so I went on to work for the Argentine branch of a Michigan company, Whirlpool. It was based in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And so I worked in the appliance industry in South America, starting in Argentina, but then I was in charge of marketing for all of South America at that point in time. And finally, when I left the appliance industry, I took on the job of marketing director for the first 2 years of the privatization of the Argentine post office. And that was a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous project that failed. And it failed basically for political reasons. These Latin American countries have a lot of swinging back and forth owing to political considerations. And so I was with them for 2 years, and then I changed sides of the counter, no longer a marketing director, but I'm on the agency side doing marketing communications. And I did that for 9 years till I finally decided, well, I have worked in large corporations, and I have worked for large corporations because I had clients like Volkswagen and Argentina Telecom and the natural gas utility and Xerox and many other large corporate clients in my agency. But in years 2000, I took on my first NGO. And I love that. It's not easier to work as a marketer for NGOs than it is to work for corporate, but it's different. And you reach a certain stage of your career in which you say, actually, this is what I know how to do, but it'd be much more fulfilling to do it knowing that instead of putting another dollar into a stockholder's pocket, I'm nothing against that, I'm in favor of capitalism, but it's much more fulfilling to be funding social change, social impact, and working for a better world. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 14 years, working for NGOs and lots of fundraising and some campaigns for social marketing, changing people's habits and so forth. So
Very good. Well, you've been able to observe how marketing has evolved in South America. How has digital marketing evolved differently there than other places, such as, like in the U.S. or Western Europe?
well, I know a little bit about the US and Western Europe because of all this international awards work that I do, and also because I'm a member of the executive committee of the Global Data and Marketing Alliance, which unites all the data and marketing associations of the world. So I do know what they're up to. I don't know that it's developed too very differently. Perhaps we moved more rapidly than you might have thought into the digital because budgets are very small. These are small economies, tough economies to work in, and the attraction of the digital media being less expensive has been very uh, important, a driver of use of digital. And there are a lot of, particularly Argentine companies, that are digital suppliers of marketing and other industries that are working exclusively for abroad. And I think this is because we were talking about public education. Had very good public education in Argentina, and so you have a well-educated workforce and very clever, and also clever at doing a lot with few resources, which is something that's typical in these smaller countries.
Very good. Well, one of the programs that is close to your heart is the International Echo Awards, which has been around almost 100 years.
Yeah.
It was run by the Direct Marketing Association and its predecessors for many years, and it's now been revitalized. And you're part of a leadership team with Mike Cruz, our friend from Summer Friday,
Yeah.
and Matt Sullivan, you mentioned to me.
Yeah.
Tell us about tell us first about the history of the Echo Awards. I've gone to some of the presentations, and they are amazing, and they recognize marketing, creativity, and inspiration from around the world.
Well, when the Echoes had their 90th birthday a few years ago, they actually was a display, almost like a museum display, explaining how things had happened, because it started out as direct mail,
Sure.
because that was the major medium at that time. And then it evolved into direct mail, telemarketing, and direct response, whether this be the guy who sells you the vegetable slicer at 3 in the morning on television, or the abominator exercise machines and stuff like that, to print ads, 0800 something, to respond to the reply. And so that would be direct response and the rest. And then when digital came in, well, the direct marketers were the ones that knew how to do one-to-one, knew how to use databases and so forth, had a real advantage with respect to brand marketers, typical brand marketers. And very much of the Echo submissions, the entries, are digital and will be digital. And in our new Echoes, it was on a hiatus for 2 years because it was being run by the ANA that didn't for some reason they didn't want to continue on, and so Michael and Matt and I said, well, this is a shame. We can't let this die because, first of all, it's positioned just right where it needs to be. Data and marketing awards combined with excellent creative to give good business results, not just advertising results like recall and favorability with respect to the ads and so forth, but actually what was the return on investment of this campaign? And this is the type of thing that clients look for and that the Echo looks for. So it has evolved and is now very, very big in data and marketing, and we're bringing it back. And we're bringing it back to in a very international way. I think that it being run by the DMA and then by ANA, it tried to be international awards, and they called them international awards, but they didn't quite get it fully. And now what we've got is we've got the support of the global DMA. And this morning I was talking to France, and there are two associations in France that are all gung-ho, and and you know the French are not easy to deal with. And these people are really excited about this. And we've got Spain, who never would cooperate too much with the Echos before, and Germany's in Netherlands, Sweden. We've got India. We're trying to get Australia to sign on, the UK, Finland, well, in all of Latin America, which I've been handling since for 23 years. It became the Echos in 2017, but there was a Latin American Awards, and all of Latin America is participating. So I think we're going to have a whole lot of growth in entrance from outside, submissions from outside North America. And if we can keep up the wonderful submissions from North America, we're going to have a huge awards program. It's quite a challenge, and we're really enthusiastic about it.
Well, it sounds terrific. I remember being at one of the Echo Awards and hearing about a wonderful campaign that a children's hospital in Toronto had conducted.
Oh, okay. Oh, sick kids.
Yeah, and they won a number of awards and
Yeah,
showed off some great creative for fundraising, and how impressive that was to see. And I know
that
you're going so it's a great chance for international display of creativity. What would be some of the categories that companies around the world could submit on?
Well, we've got all the old traditional industry categories like travel and transportation, banking and insurance, retail, publishing, sports and media, and nonprofits and so forth. So we've got the industry breakdown, but then we also break down by channel. We're looking for the best work in digital marketing, the best work in video, the best work in direct mail, and we're talking to the Universal Postal Union in Bern because the entries of direct mail has been going down in all the awards programs throughout the world, and there's still a lot of great work out there. This is sort of like when television came, it didn't kill radio, it just changed the strategy in radio, and the same thing is true of direct mail. So we've got that, and some of the other email, some of the other experiential marketing, which would be face-to-face sort of marketing things. And then we've got data. Data is a category, what people are doing with data. And we're always very careful. And the GDMA, the global DMA, is one of their big things is regulation, you know, with the European GDPR and personal use of personal data and marketing and so forth.
Sure.
We're respectful of that. And we're looking for cases that do a great job on that while respecting privacy and so forth. So it's, you know, it's a whole new field that is coming into the awards this year.
That's great. Now, one of the things I hear about, critiquing direct marketing, as we used to call it, campaigns, digital marketing, is how much awareness a campaign may have built, but how much generated in terms of results. Is that part of the evaluation? How much, what are the results of a campaign?
Yeah, and echo judges are not great fans of when you say, what results did you have? Well, I had this reach and this frequency. So, well, but those aren't results, you buy those.
Yeah.
How much did you sell? How many people signed up, or how many people donated to your cause, or so forth. So echoes will go after those, what we call business results, as opposed to just advertising results.
Well, that's great. Now, when is the competition, and when would the award presentation be conducted?
The entries have been open since the beginning of April, and the early bird runs through July 15th for the lower cost, and then there's another month through August 15th, which is for the regular period for entering your work. And then there will be another 2 weeks for later entries, which the cost goes up a little bit there. So by the end of August, we've got everything submitted. In September, with the first round of judging will be held, and there will be, I don't know, dozens and dozens of people from all over the world, each judging digitally on their computers these campaigns and sending in their scores. And the highest scores will go into the short lists in each category. And then in October, we're going to have a smaller jury. And we, in 2025 for sure, will be doing it in New York. Maybe you can come and be a judge, Ken. And eh, but this year we unless we get a sponsor, so if you got any sponsors listening out there, this is available.
Okay.
Uh, the to have in-person judging in New York, because marketing professionals and agency professionals really get a lot out of the experience of sitting down and judging campaigns, discussing them with colleagues from all over the world, different industries and so forth. And so that will be done in October. And then this year, we will not have a big, because this is our first year, we can't finance a huge gala event. We'll be doing an online presentation in the first week of December. But in 2025, we want to get out there and have a big hoopla, maybe in New York also, to celebrate. But that's the timeline.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds terrific. You got a lot. Your committee working from New York and Buenos Aires yourself, and then Mike
And
Sullivan
London,
in
yeah,
London. We'll look forward. Maybe we can talk to him. Really doing
sure.
a lot and taking the reins to restore this long-standing awards program, the Echo Awards, and and also bring marketing communities from around the world together in communication, and
Yeah.
realizing that this is a worldwide business and industry trade. So you and your committee have a lot to be recognized for.
Well, wish us well. I think we're going to do it just fine. And the echoes are worth it. Trying to preserve and grow this marvelous award.
And so we're so glad to talk with Mary Teahan, who is originally from Michigan and is the president of Qendar Incorporated in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Great to talk to you. Any final thought?
No, just that in one of the reasons that your listeners should be interested in participating in awards is I think that the principal benefit is that you become a better professional by participating in awards. Not only by seeing all the different work from different areas of the world and different industries as a judge, but also I've uh, participated, won many echoes over the years. And when you write out your case, one of the things that happens, you say, oh, shoot, I didn't do that and I should have. And then the next time you have a similar case for another client, you do remember to do that. So you end up, because of this exercise of really looking back at what you've done, you end up being a better marketer, a better communicator, a Better Business Person because you participated in these awards.
Well, Mary Teahan, it's really a pleasure and an honor to speak with you. I've known of your work with the Echo Awards for quite a number of years, and I'm really pleased to have a chance to talk with you. And I hope we can do this again as your Echo Award project evolves and goes through the competition and judging over the balance of the year. Great to talk with you today.
Okay, it's been a pleasure. Great to talk to you too, Ken.
Good to see you. This is Ken Kraetzer from CBSI and CBSI Talking Business, and also the Marketing Club of New York. We'll have more information in our description, and thank you for watching today.